LGBTIQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, intersex, and queer. Lesbians, referred to as women loving other women, make up 15% of Australia's population. Gays, used when individuals are attracted to same sex, more common in men. Did you know in gay men 2% refer to being gay, 9% are attracted but don't speak out? Bisexual, meaning an individual is attracted to both males and females. Transsexual or transgender is a person who identifies as a member of the opposite sex and can start a transformation into that gender. Intersex, meaning a person born with features that aren't male or female, or they're a combination. Queer, a simple label to explain a complex set of sexual behaviors and desires. Time to explore societal attitudes and stereotypes. The overall societal attitude and views towards this community is negative. Gay women experience a lot more discrimination than gay men. Stereotypes seen towards this community is that it is unnatural and alien-like behavior. This is due to most people believing in the Bible, and in the Bible it was written that man had to marry a woman as per Adam and Eve. Going against this goes against natural human behavior. Stereotypes associated with being lesbian include having a tougher appearance, wearing boys' clothes, and having short hair. Negative language, such as man-hater, aggressive, and masculine, associate with being lesbians just because they choose to love another female when really they can still have friends that are males. Being a gay man has its stereotypes as well, including using and speaking in a feminine tone, wearing tighter clothing, being more feminine-like in every way. They have shorter and more precise haircuts. Society has a way of identifying if people are a part of this group by using the gaydar, combining the words gay and radar. This term was introduced in the 1980s and refers to a sixth sense for identifying individuals as being gay. This gaydar all relies and initiated off stereotypes. Society has this view aligning with the tri-component model and classical conditioning. Cognitive dissonance is experienced as we don't know how and what the situation of the LGBTIQ community people feel. And now for a real-life perspective, Gabrielle McKay interviewing Lou, a bisexual member of the LGBTIQ community.
Has anyone ever yelled or said anything to you on the street?
Yes, I think that sort of stuff comes more from like a gendered perspective than necessarily like a homophobic one. For me personally, because I'm lucky enough to pass as a woman most of the time. But having said that, like if you're in like a bigger group with people where it's, you know, obvious, or not obvious, but like less heteronormative just in the way of being dressed, there's always going to be comments like if you're out. But yeah, I'm lucky enough to most of the time avoid that sort of thing.
What would you say some of the barriers for LGBTIQ people are in society today?
I'd say one of the biggest barriers like is still like the fact that we have this extremely conservative government, and despite having a yes vote, there's still like so much to go until we actually have like equality. And also there's like a lot of issues at the moment with like respect within the LGBT community. So just in terms of intersectionality, I think the voices that are coming out of a lot of the time are those of like cis white people, rather than including also trans people and non-binary people who are, you know, equally members of the LGBT community. And I think they deserve to be given a bigger platform for their voices, because they're heard a lot less often and they're just as much a part of the LGBT community, and like things like racial and gendered components come into enforcing that. And yeah, I think it's just important that we make sure that we're giving everyone an equal voice.
Seen on the screen are the negative impacts towards LGBTIQ people.
With the vote being yes and the evolving LGBTIQ community emerging, where do you see the future for this group?
So sort of with what I was saying before, like I'm hoping that the future is a lot more genuinely inclusive and, you know, like really is incorporative of trans people and their struggles. And yeah, but I mean, I think having the vote be yes is, even if it's like a little step in some senses, in others it's also just like a hugely good thing that is indicative of very exciting things to come for us as a community, in terms of just being more included and actually being seen as people is a huge step, yeah, for the LGBT community.